Yo. Buenos Aires. What's up? Molweni, gama lami uthando lwethu, abanye benu balazi ngo-Coffee Mac, udada wesizwe, and welcome to yet another installment of TikTok Finds. Yeah, no, we're back, guys. Hey, I haven't been shooting TikTok Finds in a while, but trust, I've been doing my homework and I've been finding new artists, like fresh sounds, people I love. Like, yeah, I've been finding good music. And I actually, like, I've been writing notes, but I just have been taking the time to, like, shoot an episode, man. Kodwa, yeah, anyways, man, ndiyanamkela kule nkqubo. I hope you did miss it. Yeah.
It's been a minute. Did you miss us?
Get it?
Because we missed you.
I hope you did miss TikTok Finds, and yeah, man, let's get back to finding new artists. Okay, on today's episode features none other than Ruva, an alternative gospel artist. Yes, that's what I'd say, an alternative gospel artist who blends an array of sounds such as R&B, neo soul, a bit of hip hop here and there, jazz as well. Jazz fusion is also there. So yeah, that's our TikTok find. I believe she's quite popular now. Like, her music has become quite popular, but I discovered her when like 9 to 5 was starting to blow up, which was her lead single to her EP From Ruva to El Roy, which is what we will be talking about today. So yeah, I came across her music before that blew up, and when I was still into the idea of like creating this channel which we have today, which is TikTok Finds. So yeah, man, let's get into it. Well, let's talk about the first time I came across Ruva's music. Okay, firstly, I actually loved 9 to 5. And yeah, man, I just thought it was amazing because I hadn't heard a song like that, bruh, in like someone who speaks to you as though like, yeah, no, dog, like, I'm not necessarily looking for a job. As someone who's creative, I believe I can make a living from what I make. So yeah, because most of the time people are like, yo, like, I don't care about no job, nah. But she approached it with so many angles, right? She approached it with so many angles, like perspectives from parents, siblings, the world, yeah. So yeah, that's what I actually liked, and it made me gravitate towards her. And also the singing, the messaging was also good, you understand. But also another thing, okay, when I first came across Ruva's music, I think because of 9 to 5, I thought maybe she was gonna be like an R&B type girly, yabo. And then so also going into the EP before then, like listening properly to realize, no man, she's actually talking about her relationship with God. I gave it away, nah? Yeah, I think I gave it away.
Damn it. What the damn it is that, my nigga? What the damn it is that?
But anyways, so that was me. I think that's just the lover boy in me, man. Just like, yo.
What the problem about you, Susan? You love too much. You fall in love easily. Too much. It's like you are desperate for love. You are desperate for love. Hey, are you desperate?
She's probably talking about some relationship stuff, or she's talking about a nigga, because she kept saying far away and all those things. But yeah, so I then came back and I was like, oh nah, she's actually talking about God and her relationship with God personally. Yeah, but so yeah, the one thing I actually liked about Ruva's music is it's not necessarily, it's gospel music, nah, but it's not like in your face type gospel music. You understand? Like, there are songs that off jump, okay, yeah, this is a gospel. What I liked about Ruva is that yes, I can tell she listens to like these circular songs and all those things, right? But she came with it with her own style and her own flair, right? So you know, some songs, like some Christians, well, not every Christian, but most Christians will say secular music is not good. Dun, 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 you should shift from music like that. Dun, dun. But then they will take a popular song that is popping and then turn it into gospel. Yeah, well, so that's what kind of like sometimes puts me off when it comes to like gospel songs that are adapting to like secular music standards and stuff like that. But with Ruva, she did it so well, man. I literally thought it was a neo soul or an R&B album type thing, yeah, bro. And she, yeah, man, like you can tell she listens to that music, but through the music that she listens to, she chooses to introduce God, yeah, bro. And it's not in a way, it's relatable. Yes, I can put it like that. It's relatable. It's not preachy, yeah, bro. It's relatable. It's not preachy. So yeah, that's what I actually liked about it. First things first. Okay, so now let's go into when I was like doing my research, trying to find out what Ruva actually means and all those things. So when I went to Google, according to AI, so I tried to like search. I like didn't wanna go to her Instagram page because sometimes the Instagram page is telling. So I just went to Google and I just searched what does Ruva mean. Yeah, well, so what I found first was apparently according to a excuse me, according to AI gave me this, yeah, well, because it starts those prompts. So it says it's a Swedish term meaning to brood, which is to sit on eggs. NgesiXhosa kuthiwa kufukamela, yabo, like inkukhu xa ihleli phezu kwamaqanda then ke ngoku yenze yonke loo nto, so kuthiwa kufukamela. So Ruva actually means to brood in Swedish, and then in Norwegian, in a Norwegian language, it means to tower or to be very tall, right? So to tower or to be very tall. So what made me check what this name probably means, right? It's because the name of the EP is From Ruva to Elroy, right? Yeah, so I thought, okay, so From Ruva to Elroy. So to me, it sounded as though, okay, when starting off, I thought maybe this EP is gonna be like transformative, right? Transformative meaning you're going from this stage of your life to this stage. You're going from becoming this person to a better version of yourself, right? Because that's what happens when you go from something to this. It's like the story of Abraham in the Bible when he went from Abram to Abraham, and Sarai went from Sarai to Sarah, right? So yeah, that's what I thought. Transformation and being reborn, like Muhammad Ali. He wasn't Muhammad Ali, but when he became Muslim, if I'm not mistaken, when he became Muslim, he became Muhammad Ali. Same with Malcolm X. I think Malcolm X as well. Yeah, but so I thought it was that type of thing, like transition and yeah, boy, and things like that. Then I also went to then Google also gave me that Wiktionary said that, which is the Wikipedia dictionary, Wiktionary, which says that flower maruva. So it means flower in Shona. Shona is a Zimbabwean language. Yeah, I'm sure we're all familiar with that. Yes. So flower. So Ruva in Shona means flower, right? Okay. Then I then went to her Instagram after finding this information to try and see how accurate it is. So on her bio, she has Ruvarashe. I think yes, it's on IG. It has Ruvarashe meaning God's flower, right? So the Shona definition is the one that is most correct, right? Ruvarashe, God's flower. And then she also says in her bio that she calls it the vocal garden. So when you go into her music, you're in a vocal garden basically filled with flowers, which I believe also ties in really well because the singles are the ones that then make up flowers, right? And then the EP is like a bouquet. Yeah, boy, a vocal garden, man. You understand? So yeah, guys. And also speaking of flowers, yeah, speaking of flowers, man, I think when was it? I think it was in December. I think I started to like understand the concept behind it, right? So at first I was like, man, why are you buying flowers? These things are gonna die anyways. Dun, 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 dun. But now, like, there's this one dude who actually bought flowers for someone I know, right? And I kind of got it, right? Because what you actually do is you get the flowers, then you take care of them for that time, and obviously they're pretty, and when every time you smell them, there's like a release of endorphins or well, good hormones. Yeah, but so now I kind of understand it. When someone like gives you their like your flowers, it's a sign of love, right? It's a sign that you're showing them that I saw this pretty thing and maybe I think this pretty thing resembles you type thing. Or I like wanted to give you this thing so that you can feel good about it, right? And also if maybe they're not people who are into flowers, because I was someone who was not into flowers, but seeing someone buy those flowers for them, and then when I was the one who was busy cutting the buds and like putting them into the water and dun, I kind of felt like, oh, this is actually nice, like having to take care of something. And yeah, but this is actually a nice thing. So yeah, I might also buy myself flowers one day. I might also buy myself flowers one day, or buy them for a significant other, because now I get it. And also, if they're not people who are into that, introduce them to it, and maybe you might trouble. So yeah, I finally get it. I feel like I finally get it. It's a token of appreciation, a token of love. And yeah, man, like, yeah, so yeah, I think I finally get it. So Ruva allows us to go into her garden through her music. So when we listen to her music, it's us basically entering a garden. But yeah, those are my thoughts that I wanted to share on flowers. So yeah, gents, buy your girls flowers.
Okurakele mtwa the flowers.
And also buy yourselves flowers. Yeah, buy yourselves flowers, man. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I digress. So yeah, Ruva, God's flower, and she says the vocal garden. So basically, we're going into the vocal garden, right? And then okay, so this was so then we continue, right? So I had said I thought this EP was like a transformative EP, right? From Ruva to Elroy, right? Yeah, track 1 from Ruva, so what she is, and then to Elroy, track 6, which is what she then becomes, right? I didn't necessarily know what to make of the cover art, right? But after she said a vocal garden, you can clearly see that the like she's in a green area and there's like a warm feeling. So that's what I got from it, like a warm feeling, a glow, a certain glow, right? Rebirth, which can also tie in really well to that thing of being reborn and transformation, because once you come back with new flesh, new skin, you have a certain glow, like, you understand. So yeah, that's what I got from it, just from looking at and it has a certain elegance, yeah, bro. So yeah, that's what I got from it's just simple, like nothing too much. It's just a warm feeling that you get from it, green and gold, yeah, bro. So yeah, and then yeah, it is soft. So even from the cover art, I thought, here we're gonna be like, it's gonna be neo soul or R&B type vibes, yabo. Yeah. So after doing my investigation, kengoku, Ruva means flower, as I had explained, and then El Roy, I then found out that El Roy means God in Hebrew, right? So it was given by Hagar, who was Abraham's mistress, umamaga Ishmael, right? Hagar, who was Abraham's mistress. So what happened was Sarai couldn't have children, right? I'm sure you're all familiar with the story. Sarai couldn't have children. So she said to Abraham, I will give you one of my servants so that through her you can then have a child, right? So it was like she was a surrogate type thing, but yeah, it was done the natural way. But then what then happened was, I think Sarah like grew some sort of hurt and stuff like that and all those things, right? Contempt. She became contempt, and then Hagar was scared of the madam. Yeah, she was scared of madam. So what then happened was she went to to the desert. Yes, to the desert. And then when she was there, because being in the desert is like go dry, there's nothing going on, you're scared, yabo. Then she called on to God. She said, "For I know you are El Roy, a God who sees." Yeah, she said, "A God who sees." Yabo. Yeah, a God who sees, and all the stuff. Yeah, yeah. So that's what Hagar said. So you're a God who sees, and then she called him El Roy, and then she was then, put into things like that. But now, so after finding out, okay, Ruva is Ruva, and then to God, I then realized that, okay, she's probably sending a message to God, right? From Ruva to El Roy. So from Ruva to God. So it's a letter basically to God, saying maybe like, God, this is what I'm going through, and this is what I want you to know. This is, yeah, understand. So that's what I got from the name, which, okay, we're going to be exploring such themes of her just talking about her issues, talking about herself, being vulnerable with God, which is what happens most of the time in prayer. But now, the way she wrote it, from Ruva to El Roy, gives it the feeling of a letter to God, right? Yeah, because when you write a letter to someone, you understand? So yeah. So what did I also write here? So I also said a cry for help. Right? So she's basically writing that this is from me to you, and I hope you hear what I have to say. Yeah, bo. And I also spoke about the story of Hagar as well as Abraham, because it ties in so well with the whole theme. I believe it ties in so well with the whole theme of the EP, right? Yeah, but we'll then find out why I said that, because if she specifically used the word El Roy, and Hagar was also in the same situation, and I then said maybe it's a cry for help, it makes sense. Why? Because she might probably also be showing that she's in a desert, right? So she's destitute wherever she is. She's going through a rough patch. It's dry wherever she is. But then she still calls on God, a God who sees and a God who listens and all those things, right? So yeah, man. Hey man, another thing, this EP had me opening my Bible a lot, bro. Yeah, which is something I'm also appreciative of. Yeah, it had me like reading the scripture a lot. Yeah. Yeah, I already said this. So now we'll be going into the tracks, right? So we'll be going into the tracks. Let us dissect the track list. So track one is from Ruva, basically from Ruva. From Ruva is just an instrumental which features Denzel, later Denzel. Some know him as later Denzel. I think it's later Denzel on TikTok, who is a jazz producer, and he just makes a lot of music. He's a producer, but he also does jazz, right? And I think it was also featured on an episode I did on Key Wave and Enox May. That Ingoduso EP, if I'm not mistaken. Either it was that episode or it was that episode. Yeah, it was that episode. Yeah, that's where I had featured with Denzel. So yeah, Denzel is the one who produced this. So from Ruva is just a simple instrument, it's just an instrument. To me, it felt like, okay, this is the type of vibe we're gonna get, right? The type of vibe we are to expect when going into the EP, because there wasn't much that was done. It was just, Denzel like just serenading us with the instrumental. Yabo. So yeah, it's just the jazzy trumpet, just soft. So I believe it was an introduction into, okay, this is what we're going into, right? Yeah, that's it. So yeah, and then we go to track two, which is Dear Lord. So yeah, now things start to get serious, right? Now things start to get serious. So on Dear Lord, yeah, the song name does highlight that theme and motive I had spoken about, of it being a letter from Ruva to Elroy. So now I believe we're in the process of her starting to write the letter, right? Dear Lord. Yeah, because when you like about to write a letter, you say Dear Lord. Yeah, so I mentioned that. And this song was produced by Luke Johnson, also known as Yojik Beats. I found this on Shazam. Yes, Yojik Beats. And I also went to Instagram and I actually found out, okay, Ruva follows him. So it makes sense. Yojik Beats, I also believe, was inspired by Logic, right? But yeah. Because he also posted Logic on his Instagram. So yeah, I think so Dear Lord starts with the opening.
Please hold my hand, show me where I stand, with my heart in your hands, and when I feel alone.
Please hold my hand, show me where I stand, with my heart in your hands, and when I feel alone, show me where to go, cause I don't wanna feel alone. Right, so she's basically asking for guidance, and which is something that we always do when we're praying, right? We're always asking for the Lord to show us the way, to lead the way. Yeah, because we don't wanna like fall out and just keep doing the wrong thing. Like it's like we're stumbling in the dark, so without him there is no light, basically, right? Because she also says, because I don't want to fall anymore. So clearly she's been falling, right? She's been falling, and the Lord hasn't been holding her hand, hasn't been showing her where to go, and hasn't been directing her life, right? So yeah, and she's been falling into a lot of things, metaphorically falling, maybe into her vices, into, a lot of things that just bring her pain or suffering or discomfort, you understand? Yeah, so she's asking for guidance. And since the Lord is the Father, right? Since God is known as the Father, like how we do with our parents. When you're a child, your mom or your dad would hold your hand and then cross the street with you, just to make sure that you don't get hit by a car, right? So this highlights the father and daughter, the father to daughter relationship that she has with God. You understand? Yeah. What else? Yeah, that she is under his guidance. She should stand. Yeah. Yeah. So this shows us that, and this shows us okay, now she has begun writing her letter, or she has started praying. Because in most instances, when we start praying, Lord, show me the way, right? Lord, show me the way. So yeah. And then I think we're going to the second verse.
Walk with me through it all, 'cause I don't wanna fall anymore. You know I've been trying for so long, and I've been singing the same song, wondering what's wrong.
Second verse was, yeah. Oh, I've been trying. So into the second line, excuse me, she says, I've been trying for so long, right? I've been trying for so long. Again, highlights the theme of being in destitute, right?
It makes sense!
Like Ruva, as I had said, that she's in a desert. She's metaphorically in a desert, right? She's in a place where like she's trying to make way, but things just aren't coming along kahle, yabo, because uzama le kuyavaleka, we understand. So yeah, and then what does it say? Oh, I've been singing the same song, wondering what's wrong, right? Wondering what's wrong. So here we see that okay, Uruva is actually stuck. She's in a desert again. She's still playing along with the theme of being Hagar, who is destitute and who is speaking to who? Elroy, a God who sees, right? A God who sees. Yeah. So yeah, let's continue. God knowing, then she says, then she says, I'm still looking for your love, comfort from above. I've been down so long.
Looking for your love, comfort from above. I've been down so long. Won't you lift me up? And won't you hear my song? And won't you heal my heart? Help me tell it apart. You know I'm trying.
Right. So now we clearly see that okay, along the way, her relationship with God has become strained, right? Which then makes sense why by the first verse or the entrance of she said, I've been trying for so long, and hold my hand, show me where I stand, right? With my heart in your hands, don't want to feel alone, show me where to go, right? So yeah, and then she says, I don't want to keep falling anymore. So maybe now we can see that okay, there was a split between her and God, right? The relationship kind of got strained, because I think that happens to us most of the time where we like tend to fall out of our faith, and you feel like the source. I don't know, like whatever it is that you guys believe in, but I believe sometimes that happens where you feel like no man, I'm not vibrating at the frequency that I'm usually vibrating at, like when sometimes things feel like, hey, they're a bit slow or they're a bit down. You just don't know what's going on with you. Sometimes you don't have the energy to pray. You don't have the energy to, like to just open your Bible or like read those daily verses, because you also feel like it's not coming from a genuine place. Because now it's like, oh, dog, because the Lord does say, come to me as you are, right? He doesn't say clean yourself up and then come to me. Yeah, but also at the same time, you're like, I've been doing these things for so long and now I have to pray about it, right? You do feel a bit of guilt. You do feel a bit of guilt because you feel like I'm probably using the Lord here or the Lord's grace. You understand? So yeah, I totally get where Ruva's coming from here. And now she's at a point where she's still searching for the Lord's love because she feels like she has probably lost it. She has lost it. I'm still looking for your love, comfort from above. I've been down so long, right? Exactly what I was talking about when saying she was vibrating from a low frequency and just things were happening, right? It's like she was probably going through her own stuff where she kind of feel like she then lost her faith. Then she asks, won't you lift me up? Won't you hear my song? You heal my heart. Help me tell it apart, right? So that's what I've been saying. She's probably going through stuff and she can't handle it. And now she's asking if, can the Lord hear me? Because at times we do feel like, at times when you pray, you do sometimes feel like, the connection's not there, but the Wi-Fi is not connecting. That's something Shane Eagle said on a song where he was like, I forgot what he said, but he also did say that like when I call on my God and then I can't hear him or he doesn't speak back. Yeah, but even Ricky said that on his song Home, where he was like, where this guy singing was like, I called on my God, but he was sleeping on the day. Right? Yeah. So, and then he was like, I guess I'll just have to depend on me. Oh, Fake love killing my energies. Okay, yeah, anyways. We're not there. We're not there. So yeah, back to Ruva. So I kind of like, I also understand that. I feel like I've also been through that, where you kind of feel like the radar's not connecting. But you know what? We move with the motions. We go. You keep asking, yo, why is this and that happening? Why are certain things happening? I keep praying to you, but it seems like you're not hearing me, right? It seems like you're not hearing me. I don't know if it's, no, it's not the story of Job, man. No, it's not the story of Job. But yeah, a lot of people love the story of Job. But yeah, so that's what was happening. Okay, I also spoke about that. She's also asking for a spirit of discernment. Yes. Won't you hear my song? Help me tell it apart. Right? She's also asking for the spirit of understanding, discernment, to better understand her tribulations and how to solve them. Because yes, we may say, God, I have this problem. Yo, dog, help me with it. But also, we ourselves, if you don't understand what's going on with you, then you won't know how to solve it, right? So she's asking to be able to like see things through, see the patterns maybe, and how to like deal with those problems. So a spirit of discernment, take the pain away. She also says, okay, yeah, she then says,
Out of here, I'm tired of always acting out of fear. Draw me near and wipe away every tear. Cause you know the tears I've cried, the parts of me that died, the days that I denied, that I was deserving of your love and grace, of your embrace. Lord, I've run this race, and you know I'm tired, and I'm trying, dear Lord.
the pain away. I'm tired of always acting out of fear, right? I'm tired of always acting out of fear. Take the pain away. I'm tired of always acting out of fear, right? So, of course, I had listened to 9 to 5 before listening to the whole album. It was the lead single. So now, what I then make of this is that, of course, we know that fear blocks us from a lot of things, right? Fear blocks us from a lot of things. Fear blocks us from chasing our dreams. Fear blocks us from, yeah, man, sometimes it's good, but in most cases, when you're someone who like usually dreams big and wants to do like things that are not very orthodox or that may seem oversaturated, then fear might cripple you. You understand? Fear might then cripple you. So now I understand what, okay, Ruva doesn't want to work a 9 to 5. And of course, having a stable salary allows you to not worry about anything, because you know, okay, at the end of the month, I'm getting mines. But now as an artist, you don't know when that next paycheck is coming from or where it's coming from. You understand? So it's things like that. Sometimes you're good, sometimes you're down bad, and sometimes you're going through stuff, right? So yeah, so that's the link I then made with, okay, so she's tired of leading from fear. Maybe even in her personal life with certain things that she has to deal with, she's tired of leading with fear, and she's asking that the Lord be the one to help her. Right. And then I then went to, of course, there are a few Bible verses that actually talk about fear and all those emotions. So the first one, which I felt like really links very well to this, is Philippians 4 verse 6 to 7. And then there's also Psalm 94 verse 19. And then there's also Isaiah 41 verse 10. Verse 10. Verse 10. So I got these from Crosswalk, a website called Crosswalk on Google. Okay, is it written? Okay, so I think one of the verses does say about a life with Christ is one without fears or worries, right? Which then highlights again what I was saying. Oh, and the story of Hagar The story of Hagar is on Genesis 16. It's on Genesis 16, yes. It's on Genesis 16. You can read up about the story of Hagar, Mama got Ishmael. Ishmael, who was then the leader of the Ishmaelites. Yes. Yeah, the Ishmaelites came from Ishmael. Yeah, so a life with Christ is one without fear or worries. For we also know this, there's a verse that says, even when I walk in the shadow of Dundun, I shall not fear, right? For I know Uba, you are there with me. One of the most famous verses, like, yo, dude, right? So, yeah. Noba ndingahambe ethunzini lokufa andinakoyika kuba ndiyazi uba wena ukhona. So yeah, a life with Christ is one without fears or worries. You understand? So she then shows us that, she then highlights, well, okay, further elaborating or highlighting this relationship that's estranged between her and God, that is then feeling a strain, a sense of disconnect, right? So now the themes we have found is that it actually in fact is a letter or a prayer, and we also see that she's probably going to be going into her relationship with God, right? She's going to be telling us a story about her relationship with God, how they connect, and because dear Lord, so she's writing to the Lord and she's asking the Lord to listen, right? Because she's crying to him. She's basically crying to him. Even in the tone of her voice, I wanted to say this, even in the tone of her voice, you can tell that she's like down bad, right? And also that instrumental is just amazing. But you can tell that there's a sense of sadness, there's a sense of because she's like, hold my hand, show me where I stand, with my heart in your hand, don't wanna feel alone. But yeah, anyways, like you can tell, there's then in the second verse also, like, she goes deep, bro. She then starts reaching those high notes, and you can feel it's okay, this is actually a cry for help. Yeah, bro. So Genesis 16 then says, life of fear. Oh yeah, Genesis 16 verse 13, where I said the story of Hagar was a life of fear since Hagar ran from Sarai, right? So you see, it again ties in really well with the motif of her being Hagar in the story, but not to say that she was a mistress. No, with the fact that she's in a desert and she is distressed and she's asking for the Lord to see her, right? Because at the time Hagar was basically alone, right? And she didn't have anyone there for her because Abraham stayed behind with his wife and she was all alone in the desert. So it really ties in very well, and I think it was a smart move for her to say from Ruva to El Roy, than maybe for her to say from Ruva to God. Yeah, but because we're then able to decipher things like that, to say, she is Hagar in the story because she's in a desert and she's asking for the Lord to see her and she's asking for the Lord to help her. Oh, and then she then says, draw me near, bring me closer to you, right? Let's see. The days, she says, draw me near, bring me closer to you. The days that I denied that I was deserving of your love and grace, your embrace, right? Exactly what I was saying, okay? The days that I denied that I was deserving of your love and your grace, your love and grace, your embrace, right? That's what I was saying. Exactly what I meant, Uguti. When your relationship with God or a higher power or whichever spirit, and you feel like, okay, now I'm vibrating at a low space and a low time, you then feel like, should I really reach out to the big man? Should I? Yeah, but there's going to be that one time. Of course, there's going to be that one time where you're going to strip everything down and you're just going to go there as you are, right? And just pray about it and just talk about it. All right. So, yeah, that actually ties back to what I was saying, that the days that I denied that I was deserving of your love and grace and your embrace. So, of course, when you deny that, when you deny the fact that someone actually does love you and don't, that actually kind of means maybe you have a part of you that feels guilty, or there's a bit of self-hate. You understand? So yeah, because you're like, nah man, I don't deserve to be loved and don't. You're pushing back all those things that ish. I'm not. It's like with your parents, right? So if you become an insolent child and you do things that are like way out, your parents still loves you regardless of that, right? But a part of you is gonna be like, I was never a good kid, so I don't think these people should be loving me like that, right? Or these people should be treating me like this. I did 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5 to hurt them. Say maybe like something serious happened. There's a part of you that's gonna feel like I don't deserve to be loved like the way I am being loved right now, because abazali bakho baye bakubekela imiqathango, then when akhange uyilandele lo miqathango. You understand? So yeah. And then she says, I've run this race, you can see I'm tired, right? She can't do it, and then she says, yeah, she can't do it alone. And indulging in sin. Yeah, because I also thought maybe like there was a time where, since her relationship with God was strained, maybe she would like did things that are out of, that are not, that go against her values as a Christian, or that go against her values as a believer of Christ. Yeah, but so she then wasn't necessarily yeah man, a good child. And she can't do it alone. She's telling him now that I can't do it alone. I can't do it alone, and I need you to hold my hand and go with me through everything to see it through. Right? Okay, I already mentioned what it highlights and all those things. So I think I have spoken that the prevalent themes so far is that it's a letter. It's about her relationship with God from Ruva to Elroy, right? And now with the second song, Dear Lord, we see what, okay, Ruva was actually going through a lot and now she's down bad, right? So let's go into the third song, which is Far Away. Dear Lord, Far Away. Right after we spoke about her being in the dark. Now she's far away. So far away. I'm thinking, okay, far away, someone's far away. Yeah, but the first time I listened to this song, bruh, I thought she was talking about someone. I'm sure I did say but I thought it was gonna be like R&B vibes, like broken heart type stuff. So I thought, maybe this girl's talking about a nigga, dog. Yeah, bro. She's talking about a guy, bro. Or she's talking about someone that they really, really loved, yeah, bro. So yeah. Le nto ethi yothanda ukukhetha le ngxaki le nto ethi yothanda ukukhetha. Yo! Okay, yeah, but anyways. Oh, but okay. So also Far Away was produced by Luke Johansson again. Yogic Beats coming in with the brace. 2 hits, 1 man, right? Okay. So now, Far Away, of course, was written and performed by Ruva. So now let's go into it. Let's go into the other flower. Since we're in a vocal garden, let's go into the other flower, Far Away. All right, so it says,
I'm a pen and paper, sitting under your stairs, trying to write a letter, trying to show you my scars. You should come to me when you're feeling weary.
I've got my pen and paper. So the first verse, I've got my pen and paper, sitting under your stars, trying to write a letter. Am I good or am I good? Told you niggas. Right? The theme of it being a letter is confirmed. Now it's confirmed. At first we were like making conclusions because we were seeing patterns, right? And now our theory is confirmed about, okay, this is actually a letter to God, right? A letter to God. A letter in the form of songs, right? Oh yeah, and also that line here, I've got my pen and paper sitting under your stars, trying to write a letter, also reminds me of Abraham's Genesis 15 verse 5, where the Lord said to him, he couldn't have kids, and then the Lord said to him, count as many stars as you want, and I will make your children as big as the nations. I think that's what it said. That's why we then sang the song, Father Abraham has many sons, Father Abraham, right? Because we are all Abraham's children. So yeah, that's what the Bible says, right? Yeah. Then Ruva says, trying to show you my scars, you said, come to me when you're feeling worry. Which is what I said, that of course on Dear Lord, she did kind of hint that her relationship with God was strained, but she also felt like she was not deserving of the Lord's love, right? By not feeling deserving of the Lord's love, of course you're gonna be hesitant to like go and speak to the big man, like, yo, it's like breaking a plate. Of course you're gonna take time to tell your parent, ish, broke your plate, my old lady. Yabo? So yeah, and then I went again and checked for Bible verses that could like correlate this message a bit more, since this is a gospel EP, right? So it then says Matthew 11 verse 28 to 30. Matthew verse 11 28 to 30. Okay, it further highlights the theme of being in worry and being in destitute, as she had on Dear Lord, just as I had said. Now I'm just regurgitating my notes. I didn't know that they were gonna come off the top of the head, but yeah, guys. Also, she's looking to God, as I also did say that one day you're then gonna come down and say, you know what, let me speak to the big man, yabo. Let me just strip it all down and then speak to the big man, and then he's gonna help me. You understand? So it says, but I'm starting to wonder if you can even hear me. Right? And then it says, I'm calling, won't you answer me? Oh, I'm crying, won't you dry my tears? Oh, I'm falling, won't you cover me? Yeah, but so now she's highlighting, but okay, the relationship is really estranged. Is really like, there's really a problem here. Like there's bad connection, there's no connection, right? Which then makes sense why the song is named Far Away, because she's saying that the Lord is far away from her and she cannot feel that he is close to her. Further affirming the analysis I made that maybe her relationship with God is not that strong anymore, right? It's not that strong anymore. So and they're a bit estranged from one another. So now she's asking all these questions. She's asking all these questions because sometimes you do ask, like, Lord, can't you see what's happening? Dog, I'm going through so much. Can't you see me? Dog, I'm suffering. Can't you see me? Right? So yeah. And then yeah, I did mention that. Okay, then she feels disconnection from the source. Oh dear Lord, she has brought closer. Oh yeah. Oh, on Dear Lord, she did emphasize that lyric I read and I wasn't sure what to make of it. On Dear Lord, she asked to be brought closer, and now she's emphasizing that the disconnect has grown, leading to not being heard, right? That's what I was saying with feeling like your prayers are not hitting the source, right? Feeling like your prayers are not hitting the source and they're not going where they're supposed to be going, but you just keep praying and you just keep hoping that the Lord hears you. Yeah, but so now she's asking all these questions because she is down bad. She did say on Dear Lord that I've been down for so long, and she can clearly see that she's falling into the abyss, right? Not physically, but metaphorically falling into the abyss. She's falling into a dark space where she's dealing with a lot. She's handling a lot of stuff personally, and yeah, but so yeah. Now let's go into Yeah, yeah, I also wanted to mention this. You know, when sometimes like you're going through stuff, I did say this when you're going through stuff and then you just feel like, maybe God is not there. You know, I keep praying to this nigga's not seeing me. Bro, like, where you at, Jesus? Where you at, God? Right? So, yeah, type thing. So I think that's what's happening. That's what she said she saw. And she was, I feel like that's what was happening because, like, more than anything, I'm kind of bringing this EP to maybe how I'd feel or how I would experience certain things so that it's like more relatable, right? I don't want to lie, it is very relatable because I feel like most of us, if not, yeah, most of us have been in these stages where we feel like now the connection's just not strong, and sometimes you feel like, okay, yeah, now we clocked it, now we in, now we fully in. Right. Now we fully in. Okay, so the Bible verses that reflect this: Psalms 22, verse 1, Psalms 42, verse 1 to 11, Psalm 10, verse 1. Then we also have Habakkuk 1, verse 2, right? Okay, so let's go into the, is it the second or the third verse? I'm not sure, but let's go into the next verse, where she then says,
You know you're everything to me, and Lord, I love you. That I've been running from the truth, and I keep thinking about it. I feel so lost without it.
but now I'm running away. You know you're everything to me, and Lord, I love you, but I've been running from the truth, and I keep thinking about you. Right? That's what I was saying. That she went, like, sometimes, you know, when you just like, it happens where you just lose your faith, because now she clearly says it, because I didn't want to speculate that she had lost her faith, but now she does say, I'm running away, you know you're everything to me, and running from the truth, right? And I keep thinking about you, I keep thinking about you, I feel so lost without you. Yeah, so yeah, guys, I think that's self-explanatory, right? So she's lost her way with God, and she feels like, okay, she's been moving from there. She's trying to see her own way. She's trying to like mold her own way, maybe like see what her life is without maybe faith. Because at times you're like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna try wing this myself to try and see if I can actually do it myself, right? And like let this religion stuff kind of like take a breather, right? And then but it so happens that even though you think you're on this hiatus, or you're doing things with your own conscience and stuff like that, some way somehow spirituality then comes back in, and there are certain links, and now you keep thinking about those things, you keep thinking about that, and it's like there's just a calling, a yearning for the Lord's presence in your life, right? So yeah. And then she then says again, I feel so lost without you, can't live my life without you, thinking that you feel so far away. Since there was a disconnect, she also thought, you know what, let me try like wing it on my own. About one man show, Shimza. One man show, but hey man, it didn't, it didn't go so well, because now she can feel that something's missing, like I might have some things in check, but there's that one thing that's missing. There's that one thing that is missing. And what is that? The Lord. Right? So yeah. Okay, so I then said the guidance she had asked for on Dear Lord is not there still, right? Further highlighting that she hasn't found her way yet, and hasn't come close to the Lord. So she's still falling and is still lost because the guidance that she asked for is still not there, right? Because now she does say she can't stop thinking that he actually flew so far away. So now she's trying to rekindle her relationship with God. She then says, the distance got me falling behind. Feels like I'm losing my mind and running out of time. Like, when you and someone have like a quarrel or something big between y'all happens, of course you're bound to feel like, ish, do I still have time to like mend the fence, or is that bridge burnt and it's never gonna be built again, type thing, yeah, bro? So in exploring her relationship with God, that's what's happening, right? Because now she's like, I'm thinking of coming back, but am I too far to not go back? So it's like, it's too far back, it's too far forward, and she can't continue going forward without the Lord. Yeah, bro. So yeah. Sorry. Oh yeah, this is also out of context, but it reminded me of Tyler the Creator's song "Running Out of Time," and it says, "Running out of time, running out of time, running out of time, running out of time to make you love me, living to pretend." Yeah. Anyways, so you understand. So it kind of links very well with that song and that song. But Tyler on that song is talking about a person. But here Ruva is talking about someone. It's talking about God, saying that God flew really far away from her. Yeah, well. Then we go into the second line when she says,
And I really know that it was all my choice. Can't seem to block out that noise. I need to hear your voice, cause I've made so many mistakes. Please don't turn your face from me. Please don't forsake me. Won't you abide, I pray. You know you're everything to me, and Lord, I love you.
really know that it was all my choice. Can't seem to block out the noise. She took a break. That's what I was saying. Like, she took a break. She's like, yo, man, I need a break from all of this. Let me chill out. Let me try find it. Like, try this shit, wingman, do it myself. And we're gonna see where it lands us. You understand? We're gonna see where it lands us. And now she does say it was her choice. Because, I don't know, like, when a lot of people preach, but they do say that God is never, sorry about that. They do say that God is never going to leave your side. He's always by you, and he's never going to leave your side. Alright? Yep. So, it was her choice to, like, maybe, like, just chill out, try to figure everything out, clear the dust, and then she did find, maybe, she's now finding her way, but she's also coming to the realization that, hey, man, God, I need you. I need you, my God. I need you. And she says that there is so much noise, right? So I then said, in the midst of the noise, the only voice she needs is that of God, because she did ask for guidance. She did ask that the Lord lead the way. She did ask the Lord to hear her cries, right? And even though there's a lot of noise, the one voice she needs right now is God's voice. She's looking for guidance, right? On dear Lord, help me through it all. Help me through it all and understand it all. Because she did say, help me tell it apart, right? So now, that voice of reason, that voice of discernment that she'd asked for is still not there. Further still highlighting that relationship of disparity and a lack of connection or communication. Yeah, she was basically trusting on her gut or intuition, and used her own judgment, right? She used her own judgment, and she went into the world, used her own judgment, used her own reasoning, and all those things, right? Which happened so that she then didn't really work out well, because she's now asking for that voice of guidance to come back, and she's now saying, yo, God, I thought I could do this shit, but I can't. Which is something that happens all the time when you fall out of faith. Like, you fall in, you fall out, dog. Like, that's why they always say the road of a believer or someone who is spiritual is not linear, right? Because you always face highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows. Once that shit stops moving, you're dead. Anyways, nah, man, that was just for dramatic effect. Oh, she then says, I apologize. She's sorry for that, because she did say it was her choice to run away and leave leave her relationship with God. But now she is apologizing for that, a sign of repentance and a sign of change, right? So, yeah, it's repentance. Now she's mending fences. She's mending fences again. She's leaving all the hubris behind, and like all the trying to figure it out of her own intuition and will, right? Then she says, please don't turn your face from me. Don't forsake me. You know how hard I tried. She's basically asking. She's still asking the Lord. Now she has apologized, and now she's just asking the Lord to not turn his face on her. And then on the third verse, oh, thank God I wrote this, bro. Yo, that is the third verse. Then on the third verse, now she says, now I'm running to the truth. In first and second verse, she was running away from the truth. Who is the truth? The Lord is the truth. Right? The Lord is the truth. That's what she was running away from. Now, on the third verse, she says, now I'm running to the truth. I can't go on without you. I feel so lost without you. Right? Now she realizes that, okay, I thought I was leading with my own intuition, but hey, man, like, Kanti, God was holding it down for me in the background. They were just saying, move this way, move like that. Nah, don't do this, do that. But me thinking, nah, I'm just winging it on my own. It's like how it is when you leave your parents' nest, and then you go out into the world, and you find out, damn, man, these niggas is going through a lot. And all I had to do was just eat, sleep, wake up, watch TV. So, yeah, so it's that type of shit, right? I don't know if, like, even using swear words on a gospel episode is right. Yeah. So now we start seeing, she apologized, right? She apologized, and then she also told him that, yo, I know what I did was wrong. And then now we're seeing repentance, realization, and restoration from the Ruva who was crying and weeping and like going through all those things, and now like asking if the Lord can hear her. Now she's deciding to take a change. I then said here, there are parallels between her story with Peter's story, right? Yes. So there are parallels with her story and Peter's parallels, who was an apostle. No, not an apostle. Yeah, I think he was an. She then pledges that nothing will ever separate them, because now she has seen what being far from the Lord leads me astray. But now, when I have him, I have my guidance, right? So what we then see is track 3, which is also amazing, bruh. Halfway line, we're halfway through the EP, right? We're halfway through the EP, and what are we seeing? Transformation. The story is now changing. She's transforming. Her relationship with God is transforming from distraught. Now we're apologizing. We're fixing the fences, right? Then we're gonna go forward. After this ad break,